All right, let's talk about something that could genuinely change how we all build with AI. It's a new open standard from Anthropic called the Model Context Protocol, or MCP for short. We're going to break it all down. Okay, so let's dive right in by talking about a problem that, if you're a developer, you've probably felt deep in your soul. It's that headache, that messy, complicated, super frustrating world of trying to get an AI model to talk to, well, anything else. You know what I'm talking about, right? You try to connect your AI to a database, maybe a Slack channel or a GitHub repo, and suddenly you're not just working on one project anymore. Each one of those connections feels like its own separate, massive undertaking. And what does that lead to? This tangled mess of custom connectors. Every single one is built from scratch for one specific API. The code is, let's be honest, it's brittle. You breathe on it wrong and it breaks. And the maintenance. Oh, the maintenance. It's a constant, never-ending task. It's just a massive drain on your time, your energy, your resources, everything. But what if it didn't have to be this way? What if there was a better way, a universal standard that could just clean up all of this chaos? Well, that's exactly what the Model Context Protocol is trying to do. And this is the big idea, the core concept behind MCP. I love this analogy. Think of it like USB-C, but for AI. Right now, it's like we have a drawer full of a dozen different chargers for everything. With MCP, the goal is to have one standard connection, one plug that just works for everything. It simplifies the whole mess.
So, at its heart, MCP is all about being a single unified framework. It's designed to completely replace that nightmare of custom, rigid, one-off connections. Instead, you get one consistent, standardized way of doing things.
And this is where it gets really cool, because these benefits, they directly attack that initial problem we talked about. Standardized communication? That means you can stop writing the same boring boilerplate code over and over again. Dynamic tool discovery? This is huge. The model can literally ask, hey, what tools are available? And figure it out on its own. And that simplified context, that means the AI actually remembers the conversation, making it way, way smarter. Okay, so that all sounds great, but how does it actually work? Let's peek under the hood and look at the process step by step. It's basically this simple but really powerful three-step dance. So step one, the AI model, which we'll call the client, connects to an MCP server. Think of this server as a central hub for all the tools. Step two, the client discovers. It asks the server, hey, what can I do here? What tools do you have for me? And step three, it communicates. It uses a standard language, JSON-RPC, to actually talk to a specific tool and get something done, like fetching data or booking that flight. And the secret sauce that makes all this quick back and forth possible is something called JSON-RPC. Now, you don't need to be an expert, but the key thing is that it's super lightweight. Unlike some other clunkier protocols, it's built for one thing, calling methods. That's it. This makes the communication between the AI and the tool incredibly fast and efficient, which is exactly what you need for these workflows.
And this right here, this little line of code, this is what makes it so dynamic. See that? Get available tools. The AI isn't hard-coded with a list of things it can do. Nope, it can just ask, in real time, what have you got for me? It's all about discovery on the fly. So when you put it all together, the difference is, well, it's night and day. Let's do a direct comparison, the old, painful way versus the new MCP approach. This table really lays it out clearly. On the left, you've got the old way, rigid, custom connections that you have to set up manually. On the right, MCP, dynamic, standardized, and automatic. But for me, the most important row here is context. In the old world, every API call is a one-and-done deal. It has no memory. With MCP, it actually tracks the state of the conversation. So, if you ask it to find flights to Tokyo, its next move isn't random. It knows you're going to Tokyo and can start looking for hotels. That's not just an improvement. It's a fundamental shift in how these systems can work. Okay, but let's be real for a second. MCPI isn't some magic wand that solves everything overnight. It's still pretty new, so we need to take a clear-eyed look at where it is today, the challenges it faces, and where it's headed. So, is it a silver bullet? Not yet. There are definitely some hurdles to overcome, and it's really important to separate the hype from the reality of what early adopters are running into. I mean, it's a brand new protocol, so of course it's still maturing. The community around it is growing, which is awesome, but things like super detailed documentation, solid security practices, even just knowing how stable it'll be long-term, all of that is still a work in progress. These are just the normal growing pains for any new standard, right? But, and this is a big but, the future looks incredibly promising. The whole vision here is to see MCP grow from where it is today, this early adoption phase, into a true, robust industry standard. Just imagine it, a massive ecosystem of tools and plugins that are all plug and play because they all speak the same language. That's the endgame.
So if there's one thing to take away from all this, it's this. MCP is tackling a very real, very complex problem, that integration headache we all know, and it's doing it with a really elegant, standardized solution. This could be what unlocks the next level of powerful, context-aware AI systems. And that really leaves us with one big question to think about. As AI gets woven deeper and deeper into everything we build and use, a universal protocol like MCP stops being a nice-to-have and starts looking more and more like an absolute necessity. So, will this be the protocol that ends up powering every single AI interaction in the future? We'll have to wait and see.